Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Oh, we don't lower it. Welcome, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
ATDRadio.com. Live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW of Atlantic City. We're up exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Ryan Brodo on the ones and twos.
Amateur hour over there.
Well, no, it's still loud in my head. It was loud in my headset. Yeah,
it's crazy loud.
I was turning it down over here.
Yeah, it was loud over here, so I was waiting.
Want me to turn it down for you?
No, I'm good there. All right. I need it there. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
All right.
Don't you dare.
I'm here.
Good to have you. Pleasure. Thanks for filling in.
No problem.
We're on the fixer.
No problem.
All right, now we're rocking. We're rolling. We're going to talk Sixers. Snap. A little losing streak. 5-gamer. Christmas Day. Good little treat early on to open up. One that had the Sixers playing at 12 o'clock on Christmas Day. It showed you that the process, not over by any stretch, but getting there, right? So it was sort of like a defining moment for Sixers basketball, just being able to play on Christmas Day and then getting the dub, too. And JoJo's in the lineup, and them kind of things happen when he's in the lineup. We'll talk Eagles, Cowboys predictions, offense, defensive player of the game. I mean, it is what it is type game. You know, you'll see Nick for a little bit. You know, I don't know how long you're going to see starters for. You know, Doug will talk about it more probably as the week goes on if he even does. And we'll see. I know people are saying, oh, they gotta play. They have to play. Well, I was a believer you don't want 2 weeks off anyway from football. It's not because of last week. So we'll get in the last week's game, obviously, as well, and get in our Christmas Day two-pack that was opening gifts on Christmas. Because listen to me, a win's a win.
It was our double-double, animal style.
Yeah, double-double. We're like Malone.
Animal style. It was in and out was good last week, boys.
Well, I figured I'd throw that reference out there and
I'm sure it was.
Get your thoughts.
I probably had about 5 out of 6 days, at least once.
Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. What do the Eagles need to improve upon the most this week against the Cowboys to prepare for the playoffs? You got offense execution, third down conversions, reducing penalties, inconsistent secondary. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. We'll answer all your questions, concerns. And listen, there's no concerns by me tonight. All right, we'll talk also, you know, for a 13-2 football team, is this like there's so many question marks? Is this the first time in like history that you have a 13-2 team with this many question marks? But to me, there's one question mark that there isn't, and that's culture. And it's real. And winning games is real in this league. And learn how to win sloppy, blowout, tight ones, whatever, is real. And we're going to get into all that in a little bit. But I want to get right to the poll question. What do they need to improve upon the most moving into the playoffs? Mike?
I think for me, it's got to be the offensive continuity. I think what we've seen with Nick Foles so far is coming into the Rams game in a real high-pressure spot and getting the job done, going up to New York and getting the job done, and then coming home where it should have been a no-brainer for him to get the job done and didn't really react well to the situation. And I don't know if that was, you know, the conditions, the fact that it was late Monday night, Christmas, kind of the holiday hangover situation or whatever. But, he's got to be better than that, and the offense as a whole has to be better than that. So, for me, it's got to be the offensive execution and continuity.
Can I go E, all the above?
You can go E.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike, I completely agree.
But hold on. Before we go, can I just stop everybody?
Yes.
Because I after the game, I decided to listen to a post game show around here, and it was all negative.
Well, that's a mistake.
And you thought that you lost the game, and I had to turn to my dad and go, did we lose this football game? Did I miss something? And I don't want to get into that tonight here. I want to make it clear. This is the 13-2 football team, and teams that find ways to win are teams that let's say it works for in the postseason, right? When you just find ways to win, you can win sloppy, you can win clean, you can win whatever way, and you just learn how to win close games matter. And everybody talked about throughout this season, the Eagles had it too easy. They won too many easy games. There's no adversity. Well, the last 3 weeks has been a lot of adversity. You've been down in all 3 games. You were down the Rams game. You have backup come in the fourth quarter. You win that football game. You're down 20-7 against the Giants. Yeah, bad football team, but you come back, you win that football game. You're down against the Raiders, right? You battle. It's a sloppy game. It's a terrible game from both sides, but you find a way to win that football game. That shit matters. That matters. And I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the people out there. Because, Lane Johnson's bitching and saying, I'm not going to talk to the media anymore. And he's right. He's right. You shouldn't. Because he said it's never enough. What do we got to do to satisfy people, right? Like, nothing's ever good enough. Well, 13-2 is good enough for me.
Well, it's funny because I have.
That's all. Before you went, I had to get that out to the people.
No, I have some Cowboys fans that I'm friends with on the book, and we bicker quite a bit. But the one thing that we all agree on is a win is a win is a win. If it goes in the column on the left, because it's real hard to win a football game in the NFL most weeks. So as long as you win, that should be what matters. But
I'll be drunk the same way 6-3 Super Bowl win or 40-7.
No, you're absolutely right. But you can't sit there and sit through that game and be happy with that outcome. Or be happy. I'm sorry. You're happy with the outcome.
Back in my car.
You're happy with the outcome, but you're not happy with what got there. You know what I mean? That's what concerns me.
No, were you happy with the offensive performance? No question.
No,
but
and that's where
you're happy with a win.
And that's where I'm kind of going all the above. But I think the two offensive sides go hand in hand.
Yeah. Third down
efficiency, you're not in a lot of the long third downs that we
were
were in the other night.
1 for 14.
1 for 14.
I mean, that's just not going to get it done.
At all. And yes, is a lot of that 11's not back there? Sure.
Of course.
But we have to continue to move on.
But you got to be talking 3rd and 5 situations, right. 3rd and 6s.
A little bit more manageable to where even if the wind is howling, you should be able to throw a quick hitter.
Now, people bitch to me about Alshon, not having any catches. And my point to people was, Sean Smith's a really tough matchup for Alshon Jeffrey. He's long, he's big. You're not going to see a lot of corners like Sean Smith, even though I don't.
And he shut down Dez Elite before.
Yeah, so big guys, big receivers, he tends to do really well against.
And what I would say to the people is, if Alshon didn't have any problem getting shut out of the game, why do you? He's the one on the field. He's the one catching the balls. He's the one making the money. And he doesn't have a problem with it because he knows he was bracketed. He had Sean Smith on him, and they won the game.
And thankfully, I didn't need Alshon Jeffrey in my championship. He threw up a goose egg, and I still won.
Well, we'll talk championships and how.
You want to know
but real quick, going back to the poll question.
I would love to answer it, too. I don't mean that disrespectful. Like I just say, before I forget, because I will.
To me,
and we'll go to something else.
The penalties has been an issue all year.
Of course.
Me, the penalties.
Yes.
But the biggest issue, and so if I had to pick one, it's going to be the defensive secondary. Because the only time that they really showed up was in the last half of that fourth quarter where the defensive line was, go get them, boys. In the rest of that game, when they had to sit and potentially play the run or play the pass or play the double move, regardless, that whole defense as a whole didn't look great until the end of that fourth quarter where it was just go get them. So to me, that's kind of concerning that if Marshawn Lynch can chip away 3-4 yards here, 2 yards here, and kind of dominate the game on the running side without ever scoring, I don't know what that's going to do for the playoffs. So that I guess I would probably lean more to the defense in the secondary because of that concern.
I said this Sunday morning, it's the closest thing you're going to see to your last 2 games from a playoff football team. In terms of the Raiders coming in. And I know the narrative is like, well, they got to travel across country. They got it's Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Dude, incentives and bonuses and contracts. I hate that talk. I hate the talk of like, oh, a team's got to travel. They got nothing to play for. Would you stop it? A lot of guys on that 53-man roster have a lot to play for when it comes to this. So I hate that. And they're playing Monday Night Football on Christmas, not traveling to play the Redskins. They're traveling to play a 12-2 football team. So they're going to get up. And especially a team like the Raiders that were a Super Bowl contender for most experts coming into the year. They're going to give you their best shot. So that was the closest thing I thought you were going to see to a playoff dogfight type game to get us ready for what's to come. And what's to come is better football teams, obviously. But the dogfight we had in us to get through that game means a lot moving forward to me because it was sloppy. And sometimes you're going to have sloppy. But to come out and win that matters in a locker room of guys that are going to continue to believe that, hey, we can win without the MVP of the league, essentially, and obviously the MVP of our football team. And that's what you're seeing here. Find ways to win football games. That's all that matters. And you got somebody coming into our place and everything runs through South Philly is exciting because this defense is good at home.
So your answer to the poll question then?
My answer would be third down. Third down execution. You got to stay on the football field. Yeah. And if you want to have a healthy defense and a fresh defense in the playoffs, you want to convert third downs. And like Greg said, we got to be able to run the ball better moving forward. And I think Wes Newsey's going to help that a lot.
I agree. It's the
revolving. And we got tons to read, too.
Yeah, so we do, too. The revolving door at left guard is, I think, is just killing him as a whole with the run game. And I think if Wisniewski's able to come back for the playoffs, that will be pretty drastically improved. But Greg, to your point, so I'm playing in a consolation round on Monday that's got money involved. I'm up 8 going into the game. I have Alshon. He's got Crabtree. Both of them get shut out. I've never, ever seen it before.
I was up.
2 number 1 wide receivers get shut out in the same game.
I was up 5 to Wilson. 6 seed versus a 1 seed. Up 5, he had Foles and Ertz going. Now up 5 going into the second half.
Yeah.
It was over. Won by a point.
Oh, my goodness.
By a point.
I was in
Money.
I was in 2 chips. I was up 25 going into the game. My man on the other side had Gurley with a nice 50 burger. Helped him out. He had Foles in the Eagles defense. I ended up losing handsomely, and I went back in my head to see if there's any moves I could have made that would have made a difference. And even if I would have played everybody possible,
still would have lost.
I still would have lost.
And that's all that matters.
As long as you played your best ball lineup, that's all you can do.
Mike Lipinski, nice to see Greg decided to make the trip from Cali.
Yeah, it happens.
He's back.
He's bi-coastal.
For a week.
Bi-coastal.
He's bi-coastal.
Deion Brown, Dream Team. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Deion?
Ralphie D. What's up, boys? Ralphie.
Lonzo.
Doug Zeke. What up, fellas? Zeke.
What's up,
Michael
Zeke?
DeAndrea. Yo. We got yos around. Doug Zeke, third down conversions is huge. Clean up the secondary. We're good. Let's go. He's still believing, Mr. Zeke. He's still buying in because wins are wins to me and the Zeke man. Michael DeAndrea, how many teams that we might face play outside and will it matter? So we can talk about who are some potential matchups later on, but it's tough because doesn't it change too?
What do you mean?
Like who you could see?
Oh, yeah.
It reseeds.
We end up seeing the lowest remaining.
The lowest remaining, so it can reseed. A lot of things can matter. Jesse Eberhardt, NFL.com says Philly has a 16.1 chance of making it to the Super Bowl.
16.1%. Okay.
That's a little low to me.
Well, I saw NFL.com today had him at 10-1 to win it.
Yeah.
So
Bovada had 10-1.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Bovada's 10-1. I'll take the odds. It's not going to be easy, boys. And nobody said breaking curses would be.
You're in there with your backup quarterback, and your odds go from 8-1 to 10-1. I'll take that.
I'll take it.
Well, yeah, but you're in the dance though, so I think that's why it didn't move so much because you're there.
You're still
you know
shimmying.
What I mean?
You're still electric sliding.
You're still,
of course.
You're still shimmying on the sideline.
You got a Nicky Shuffle going on over there.
Shuffle. I missed the ick. Kevin Walsh preached on. That's the earlier. With the you won 3 games from behind and 2 on the road and all way your backup. That matters to a locker room of guys that need to believe that you hoist the Lombardi or just get there. Michael Barry 14-2. That's probably where it's going to end up. I see still even with backups in us beating their ass.
So clearly Dallas week doesn't lose any luster for you in the game's
0 because I hope Nate Sudfeld throws for 300 and 4 touches. And
Me
then
too, so then he can start.
Brady! It's Brady!
He said he can start.
It's Brady! Look at him!
We got a quarterback controversy.
Brady!
And then next year it's going to be Sudfeld or Wentz.
Yeah, Wentz never plays a snap here again. Could you imagine? All jokes, people. Relax. All jokes. Chrome, it's tough.
You say that now.
I won't say that, but there's some morons out there. It's a tough call on the poll question, guys. But I'm going to say offense execution just because I believe Foles is going to need reps this week with the first unit. And I believe that
Well, I feel like
from jump.
I feel like if the offensive execution and the offensive continuity is there, the third downs will take care of themselves. You know what I mean?
And I had the same thought. Like, those two are the same answer to me because if one's there, the other's also there.
Yeah.
Agreed, but to Tommy's point, it's a lot easier to convert 3rd and 2s than it is 3rd and 10s. So,
And that's
you're
the thing.
absolutely right.
You got to be able to run the football. This is what we talked about. And, we were talking earlier, on Sunday, about Ajayi. I don't put a number on carries right now. I'll put a number on carries in January, right, and it touches. Yeah. But even him, fumbling the football. The stuff you can't have when you're talking about cold weather, the January football games, playoff games. Zeke, the sky is falling.
shut up, Zeke.
Fucking morons and haters. Only one who gives up. No chance. Get a clue.
The sky is falling.
This team is no quit. No going down, but he's
All right,
saying
so he's quoting
he's
people.
quoting
All right.
morons.
My bad, Zeke.
Frank Vespi says execution on offense. Mike Coletta, what's up, guys? What's up, Mike?
Mike, we road trip to Tampa next year, right?
Yeah, listen. I might be at that game.
I might be at both of them if they're on the same week.
Bob
Road trip to the parents.
Oh, hold up. That's not a bad idea. In all seriousness,
Going to Greg's parents or
No,
the road
Either
trip?
or. Let's go.
But here's the thing.
I'll drive.
If somehow the NFL schedules Jacksonville and Tampa back-to-back, we just go. We leave Saturday. We stay down there for 8 days. We come back the following Monday.
Bang. Let's do it.
I'm in.
Zeke, I'm completely in. My parents live 45 minutes from the stadium. I'm in. Doug, Zeke.
Ryan's over there
You can come. Yeah, more than welcome. Hop in the car. I'm driving.
We'll bring a kid along.
you're too. Wait.
That's got to be a cheaper ticket,
No,
right?
hold on.
It's got to be a cheaper ticket.
He's half. He'll sit on my lap.
Wait, he's 21, so he can get into all the places.
I can pass as a 16, though. Trust me. Trust me.
He's our designated driver.
Doug,
he could drive the Escalade all week.
Doug Zeke said 3 more wins, Super Bowl champs. I love it. You're right on the money, Tom. See you in Minnesota, chilling in an igloo. I love it.
Zeke's come a far way from the year.
I love
Zeke
that.
has come a far way from the year.
Remember where he started?
Yeah, he's with me.
Yeah.
I feel a little upset over here.
No, because you're with us. Deion Brown.
Because he's a front runner. Fairweather fan. Calling you out, Zeke.
Oh, wow. Deion Brown. Wentz went down. I believe the locker room now feels mainly the D. Feels like everything is on us. We trust Nick, but that goes for us, the coaching staff as well, at least for me. Thoughts, fellas?
No, I think he's dead on.
Yeah.
I think, but I think that goes with any team. When your starting quarterback goes down, think of Minnesota too. They're down. Their backup as well. But when your starting quarterback goes down, your defense says,
Let's
all right,
go.
boys, we got to jack it up here.
Let's go.
We got to throw goose eggs. We got to throw 10 points out there because we don't know what our guy's going to do. We have faith in them, but we truly don't know what's going to happen.
And it's a bend, not break.
Right.
It's no touchdowns in the red zone, keep teams out, costly turnovers like we talked about. Them kind of things that we need to continue to do moving forward here. You need that big pick in the other team's end of the field. You need, a big punt return. You need things like that to go your way.
Note to self: don't ever drink a hot beverage on the air again.
Oh yeah, notes taken.
Got the whole post-nasal drip going on over here. So if I take my headset off, it's so I don't snort in front of everybody.
Bob Hartman, I'm going to stay on the sidelines for this show then. I had to remind myself that they won the game. I walked away from that game relieved that they won, but feeling like they lost. Hashtag Team Doug, but he didn't call the best game, by the way. And I'm not – it's tough to say he didn't because you talk about 2 big holding calls come back and drives. You talk about Foles 2 times in the red zone, misses Ertz wide open at 2 different touchdowns. You're talking about a different football game. I mean, so you won the football game, but you saw plays on the field that showed you it could have been a blowout.
But at the same time, because I agree with Bob.
No, I do understand what he's saying.
But at the same time,
I didn't feel like we lost.
You missed those plays because it's a Nick Foles back there. We're still working this out. He's trying to find his footing in this game still currently.
Right, but these are plays that they hit against the Rams, they hit against the Giants, that they then didn't hit on Monday night against the Raiders. So it's not like Doug was in his bag of tricks trying to pull stuff out to throw shit at the wall and see what he could take into the playoffs. I mean, the offense has been watered down a little bit, and I mean, not dramatically, but a little bit. But I mean, to me, Nick just didn't make the throws, and combination of LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi probably lost about 30 yards rushing because of holding penalties. So
and that matters. They're drive killers.
Yeah.
And then they put you in your first and 20s, whatever, your second and 15s, whatever they put you in them situations, and that's what you have to avoid. And you talk about the penalties early on. They're the big thing you have to avoid come in 2 weeks.
Because
that's
a
simple.
team coming in 2 weeks is going to take advantage of that.
I got a bunch here on the YouTube, too.
Yeah, get to them, and I'll get to the book in a few.
Chuck's chiming in. TTP Baldwin chiming in. Everybody's wishing everybody
boys?
happy holidays.
boys?
Happy holidays, gentlemen.
William Whitsett, no concerns for me. A couple questions for you guys. Do you think we should go for the record against Dallas for most wins in Eagle history because they've never won 14 in a season? And then how do you feel about Lane Johnson going at the media? Well, I think you already answered the Lane Johnson question.
Love it.
I got no problem with
Tell the people what's up. Wins are wins.
Yeah.
We're never satisfied.
Hey, one of the greatest athletes in the history of this town, Steve Carlton, never spoke to the media. I don't have a problem with it.
No, if you're pissed off and people can't accept wins and too many questions that piss you off, then so what? Don't talk for a little bit. He'll come back because he likes to talk.
I don't care one iota about 14 wins. I mean, it would be nice, but it doesn't faze me.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to beat Dallas again.
I just want the offense to look like a semblance of what it used to. That's more concerning to me.
Agreed.
Dude, it's 1 week where you look really bad. The week before, you were clicking on all cylinders.
Right, but so you got to go somewhere in the middle of that.
Exactly, but in the middle of that wins you a home playoff game.
Okay.
Right?
But I want to see that, though.
No,
I don't want to see the high. Like, I don't want to see 27-2 and then see the other night. That's what we're going up against. He's not as good as 27-2. We all know that,
but he's in the middle. But in the
he's
middle,
not as bad as he looked the other night.
But in the middle, with a defense that comes to play in the playoffs, wins you home games.
You would hope so.
No, I know so.
But the defense for the first three quarters.
If you score 24, if you score 24 in that first home game, that should be enough to win. When you walk and talk,
doesn't play 3 quarters.
Right. I'm talking to you, talking to them. When they walk around and talk top 5, top 10, and that's who they are, 24 in a home playoff game should get it done offensively. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it should.
It should.
But is the defense going to give it? Is going to keep it off? Because we're going to face a better offensive line. We're going to face a better quarterback. We're going to face a better running back.
Well, we actually talked about this off air before you came in tonight. They've only given up more than 24 at home once this entire year, and that was to the Broncos in a game that was way out of hand. So, I mean, their numbers at home in terms of points given up, it's literally like 24, 23, 24, and then it goes like 7, 3, 10. Like, I mean, towards the end of the season, like the numbers just ridiculous defensively at home. So
I'm confident in whoever comes in here that you're going to get the best ever from this defense.
Okay.
I'm confident in that. As long as Jim Schwartz stays with what he stayed with and what I saw on Monday night, where my man's back where he belongs, Malcolm Jenkins, and they put Ellerby in to say, okay, we're not going to make this mistake again.
Well, I got
to get it done with somebody because he needs to stay back there.
I actually got that for you. Chuck's actually chimed in and said, Tom, Ellerby, ! Him being in there is huge. Jenkins wasn't playing near the line of scrimmage as much against the Raiders, just what we wanted. So there you go. There's your Ellerby point.
Yeah, no, he's right.
Jay Lash chimes in and says, I think this team doesn't deserve the extra week off besides the bye. They have some serious shit to tighten up and some soul-searching to do.
Soul-searching how, though? I mean, I don't understand where you're soul-searching.
Shit to tighten up, yes. Soul-searching.
You're 13 and goddamn 2.
Yeah, you're 13 and 2.
What are we soul-searching for? What are we soul-searching for when we just won 3 games from behind with a backup? What other soul-searching do you have to do? I mean, how deep do you have to soul-search, and what else do you have to do? I mean, I don't want to talk to the media because this is like media questions. That's a media question. I don't even want to talk to you either. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Really? I mean, this is what's wrong with some of us. We never won shit, but we're deserving of more, right? Like, what have we won to say, oh, shit, 13 and 2 ain't good enough for me. Get the hell out of here.
He didn't say it.
I'm yelling at him because I'm yelling at people.
No, because he knows it's my thoughts.
This is why we have you, so he doesn't have to yell at me. Art Shimko, I want to see this team be a powerhouse on third downs again. Hey, Right there with you.
Right where you are.
Absolutely right there with you. Todd Womack, Philly Dilly guys. Hey, what's up, Todd?
What up, Todd?
David Rosca, my Rams in the postseason. Your Rams are going to get their asses kicked if they come to
From
Philly.
Glensdale, Arizona, my Rams in the postseason.
Yeah. TTP Ballin, I almost like the fact that we've had some struggles the past few weeks. Gives everyone something to build upon and bounce back from moving into the postseason.
I think Foles said it best in his poster and post-gamer when he was just like, hey, if everything's smooth sailing, there's nothing to work on. When things don't go right in this coverage or that coverage, then you're looking at it more. Next time, what can I do better in that situation, that spot? And it helps you get better.
Well,
so
he follows up and he says, have the past couple games made you guys any more or less comfortable coming into the playoffs?
More comfortable because you're battle-tested, man. To come back and win football games and win games that you're losing makes you tougher going forward. How's it not?
I'm the same. I don't really see. I just can't see Nick pulling it out. So I'm still exactly where I was before.
John DeCasanova, which team scares you the most and the least in the playoffs? I don't know that we can answer that just because we don't know everybody who's going to be in, but
who's left to
I can
figure out?
I can tell you who scares me the least would be either Atlanta or New Orleans coming in here because I think both of them are just kind of on the road, outdoors, and I think Atlanta clearly kind of blew their wad last year.
Atlanta doesn't scare me at all, but with the exception of they have a legitimate offense. Their defense doesn't scare me, but they have a legitimate offense. They have Julio, Devontae, and Matt Ryan. Obviously, who scares me the most is Minnesota and then L.A.
Yeah, Minnesota, L.A. I agree with them too.
Outside
Carolina doesn't worry me too much here.
Carolina does because of the defense, but do they? But they don't worry me more than the other two.
Yeah. What happened?
William Whitsett, I fucking love Tom. He's the most passionate Eagles fan, like me. Hey, we're 13-2.
Yeah, it is what it is. What else? I don't know what else we want. With a backup, we're winning games. Okay, I understand that there's concern because we didn't put up 40 on Christmas night. I get that. I get that our offense didn't look clean going into the playoffs like we wanted it to. Okay, but you could look clean and get your ass bounced one and done. Or you could look ugly before you go in, win a football game, and go win one when you get in. So there's no way to go in as long as you're winning football games going in, that's on the up, right? So like when I listen to the show say, well, you would like to see him trend a little more up going in. Trend a little more up than winning? Like I don't understand how you can trend more up than winning games. Like you're not going to beat people 40-7 with Foles. So get it out of your goddamn brains. Like get it out of your head.
Let me ask you guys a question. Understanding that they've scaled back the offense just a little bit with Nick, you think after they clinch the first round bye, even though they know they're still playing for home field advantage, you think they maybe are kind of holding some stuff back at this point? Like they just have some stuff that maybe they would run in certain situations that Doug just doesn't want to show right now?
It could be,
Yeah, I think there's always a chance.
But Monday night they had opportunities.
But at the same time, you have a brand new quarterback in there, and yes, I know he knows the system, but this is a brand new quarterback with a brand new team. You can know the system all you want, but we saw on Monday night that you can know the offense all you want and still not click. So, yeah, sure. Is there some trickeration that might be able to get the offense going by calling it here or there that he's not calling? I'm sure there is.
Chris Lyons says, why are we not going to blow anybody out with Nick Foles? Well, you just can't expect it like you will with Carson is my point. Week in, week out, Nick can't do, obviously, some of the things Carson can do. That's just factual. And my point to the people is, as long as you're winning games, that's all that needs to matter. His stat lines don't always need to matter in terms as long as you keep winning. And that's on the trend up going into the playoffs, winning.
Oh, my goodness. I got two more I got to read, and then we'll get back over to the book. TTP Baldwin, I think he's lecturing me here. He says, don't sleep on Atlanta. The only issue with them is the inconsistency. You don't know if you're going to get the unstoppable, explosive offense or mediocrity. All right, I'll give that to you, whatever. They still don't scare me. And then what I was laughing at was Jay Lash. This victory felt like that time at the bar where it's getting real late and you end up taking down one of those swamp donkeys. Or I think it's supposed to be taking home one of those swamp donkeys. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. Better luck next time. And Todd Womack says, preach, Tom. This month proves that we could go to the Super Bowl because when you win close games, you have experience to not panic when things happen.
It's true. Chris Lyons said, I did not say that. I said we are not going to blow anybody out with Foles. Statement, not question. Gotcha.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Agreed. I think we're all in agreement there.
Yes.
To the people that aren't in agreement out there that think like, oh, we should blow. It's Oakland. It's Oakland. They're going to travel all over here. Blah 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 blah. Stupid freaking nonsense that comes out of people's mouths when you're playing an NFL football team and whatever. You're going to get shots from people, especially when you're 12-2. You're going to get people's best shots.
Literally, Oakland had literally just been eliminated the week before. It's not like these guys were, 4-11 coming in, 4-10, whatever.
And aspirations for bigger things going into this year. So, trying to obviously save some of their own jobs in that organization on the field. I mean, Del Rio's not going anywhere. He's got a 4-year deal.
And he just signed it.
Yeah, so he's not going anywhere. But players.
I mean, if we go back,
the coach isn't going anywhere.
Was that David Carr or was that Derek Carr the other day?
I don't know. Maybe both.
I mean, if we go back to if we went all the way back to our preseason show when we made our predictions on division winners and playoff teams and Super Bowl contenders and everything like that, I had the Raiders coming out of the AFC going to the Super Bowl.
I think a lot of people had them going deep.
Yeah, I mean, I think on this couch I know you had Kansas City. They're still alive. I had the Raiders who just got eliminated last week. And who did you pick preseason?
Coming out of the AFC, the Pats.
The Pats. Yeah. And so there
Mine
you go.
was pre-Eric Barry pick of the Chiefs coming out of the AFC. But I'll still roll with them. Brian Attar, Minnesota to me doesn't match up well with the Eagles because the offense goes through the middle of the hash marks is what he's saying. So they're more middle, they don't go outside the hash marks. You agree with that?
Nah. I think you...
Well, I mean, to a point.
Right, but I think you attack the defense where they're most vulnerable. So if they have to go outside the hash marks, they will.
Which was evident this week when they targeted Diggs all day and Thielen got nothing over the middle. And if you look at the run game, too, the run game was stuffed up the middle.
Yeah.
And so...
All right, if you're just joining us, our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. What do the Eagles need to improve upon the most against the Cowboys moving into the postseason? Offense execution, third down efficiency, or conversions, any way you want to slice that one, reducing penalties, inconsistent secondary. Let us know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, HUD Raiders, where you can find us. We'll answer your questions, concerns.
Yeah,
John Skeel.
Quick score update, too, from Chicago. Nova lays a hundo on DePaul, 103-85.
DePaul's in Division I basketball.
They're still
People are going to be screaming that Jay Wright should take Brett Brown's job now again because they beat DePaul and put up 100. John Skeel, let's not forget, good coaching wins and loses games. I'm thankful for playoff game this year. Exceeded all expectations. Agreed there. We definitely did. We should be thankful that we're in the dance from where we were last year. And to make that jump that quick, to have home field throughout, that's something to be said.
Well,
this whole roster.
Listen to this, though. So to that point, exactly, TTP Ballin says, we have the most well-rounded team moving forward with one of the best coaches, in my opinion.
We do. Probably coach of the year, in my opinion.
Greg hates that, but
he doesn't have to like it.
It's the truth.
That's facts. Chris Lyons says run game, ... And that's something you need to get going.
Yeah.
And that's something we talked about earlier on.
Execution,
execution. You need, holding penalties that bring 10, 15-yard runs back. You got to clean that kind of stuff up. And as a whole, you got to run the ball better. And Wisniewski should be ready to go by that home playoff.
You would hope so.
You would think.
And that was – because that creates a humongous void on that left side.
You can't have two. You can't lose two.
Yeah, Vaitai just isn't good enough
to be by himself.
To be by himself.
And Chance Warmack is
what he was.
A death signing. That's all he is.
Yeah.
Nothing more. You hope you don't have to play
It was a chance. It was one of those.
Yeah.
It was one of those depth signings with a chance. Come back with your coach that you had in college. See if you can get that mojo back that you had with him. And so far, it hasn't worked out. He signed an extension, so it's not like he's going anywhere.
True.
And I'm not saying he's the key, but you're right. He's not up to par though right now.
Michael DeAndrea, we weren't supposed to be here. No matter the outcome, I'm happy as hell.
We weren't even supposed to be here. Damn it. Actually, Jay Lash just chimed in with this one, and I actually had to ask him, is this legit? It says every team that's currently in the NFC playoffs, the Eagles beat in their last meeting. And I'm thinking about it, and it's Panthers, yes. Falcons, yes. Carolina, yes. Minnesota, yes. The only way Seattle's not in yet, so that would be a no.
That would be the only no.
The Rams, yes.
Rams, yes.
And I think the Saints has been a couple of years though, so that's the only one.
Right, but they played.
And they beat the Saints too.
They did
Was
beat
it up here.
They beat the Saints up here 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. How about that one?
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting stat, but in the playoffs, all that throws out. It doesn't matter.
Yep, it all goes out. Michael James, we run better if Foles makes some plays. What he said? We can run the ball. We can run the ball if Foles can make some plays down the field. If not, teams will stack the box. So yeah.
Well,
I think it's twofold though.
Yeah,
too.
Foles can make plays down the field if he's got time to throw. The way he gets time to throw is if you establish the run.
You run the game. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
hand in hand.
Look,
Everything's
Doug,
hand in hand.
Doug came out in the first quarter, and 7 of the first 11 plays they ran were running plays. He tried to establish the run. Oakland's not bad defensively, especially against the run.
No, and listen, you're talking about a freezing game. It's not easy to throw the football. I mean, Derek Carr can spin it a little bit. Let's not act like he can't.
Yeah.
All right? And he looked like a shell of himself.
He looked like his brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's them conditions. We can act like they don't matter, and we can act like you didn't step outside and wind tunnels weren't taking you the frig away, okay, Dorothy, right? But at the end of the day, that's real conditions. Now, there's not an excuse. It's just a little tougher to throw the football. Hence why you miss some high throws to Ertz, where it just gets away from you a little bit, and there are things that, in my opinion, can be correctable in the cold. I don't know. I think you can,
It's going to be cold, though, from here on out.
Yeah, but the play in it now, it's only going to make it better as you go forward in conditions that bad.
The thing that's kind of baffled me since Monday night is we gave up 10 points, and Oakland had less than 300 yards of total offense. Why does everyone think the defense played so poorly?
Just because it seemed like Marshawn ran the ball well early on. But I think as a whole, we played really well defensively.
He was 25 for 94. He's less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think the difference is where other teams got rid of the run, Oakland was like, you're still getting Marshawn every third play or 2 out of every 5 plays, and it looked a little bit like, all right, he was dominating the line of scrimmage more than maybe. Obviously, the stats
weren't right.
And
we had a few tackle for losses with them.
Yeah,
too, took away.
And I think a lot of because of that, I think the defense through the first at least half and 3 quarters, or maybe halfway through that third quarter, kind of played back a little bit on their heels because they had to. We have an offense here that isn't changing their game plan and is still going to run the ball, so we kind of have to. We don't know what's coming. And then that's where I think it turned is let's just go get them, and that's where I think the defense turned on.
Well, they forced five turnovers in the second half,
and that's where everything happened was once they started D-ends or D-line, just go get them.
Michael James, I think Dougie P tried to get Foles in a rhythm last week and failed to get the running game going. In playoff games, let's hope Coach sticks to the run game.
Okay. Whatever works.
I thought they ran the ball decent amount to start. I mean, the 3 and out to start was kind of, okay, this is where this game's going to go. And they were all 3 passes. You know what I mean? If you go 3 and out and it's, all right, we're going to try the first one to pass to see what we can do in this weather, and then maybe pound the ball, and then whatever third down brings up. You know what I mean? But they just come out 3 fired, and then we're like, all right, this is where this game's going to go.
And I think that's Doug's way of trying to get you to back up a little bit. You know what I mean? Try to get you to play on your heels a little bit more than coming up, especially with an offensive line on the left side that he doesn't trust running the football that much.
Yeah.
I think that's his way of saying, okay, at least you can respect the fact that I'm going to come out and try to throw the ball on you early and have to think about that moving forward a little bit more than, okay, it's cold.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that thought process. You would like to complete a couple of those.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out.
You're right. I mean, the thought process is there, but when it turns into a 3 and out, and then you're
like,
all right, so about that.
About last night.
So Lash chimed in and goes, "Oh, and the Eagles beat the Steelers and the Pats the last time they played both of them too. Don't count them out."
We're winning it all.
And that's the truth. They did beat both of them. Lash says, honestly, it's too bad the Super Bowl can't be played between two NFC teams. AFC is significantly less competitive than the NFC. Just go look at the record of the playoff teams over there.
I don't agree with
that.
I
think what he's saying is you basically have the Steelers.
I mean, if you're top heavy and then everything else, that's fine.
Right, but what he's saying is if you look at basically the Steelers and the Pats, and then everybody else is going into the playoffs with like 9 wins.
Yeah.
So I get what he's saying there.
Chris Lyons goes Farmer's Almanac, January 13th, no win. Foles throws for 300 and 3 TDs were good.
Chris Hurricane Lyons chiming in.
Real quick, John Broch is here over on Instagram. What's up, John?
What up, John?
He goes, miss you at work, Greg. I miss being there, John.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
Yeah, I actually do. That's easy money.
Art Shimko chimed in again. He said, I bumped into a few fellow Eagle fans down here in Austin. This guy saw my hat and said since his Lions were eliminated, he's rooting for the Eagles. It's awesome. Love that. TTP Ballin says, I love how we utilized Ajayi early with it there. Jay Lash, anyone else feel like this offense is saving their best play and plays for the playoffs?
Very well. Could be. They've been playing with house money.
You hinted at that.
Yeah.
You hinted at that.
They're playing with house money. I mean, this last week was house money. It really was. You just had to win one out of the next 2,
right.
And it's house money. So you can try some things and not try some things, or be vanilla or not be vanilla. It really doesn't necessarily matter. You knew you had one home playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Dougie about to come out first playoff game with some shit nobody's never seen before.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Wide receiver passes. That's what we're running.
Andy would pull that shit.
Yeah, he would. Doug Zeke, they were getting shredded in the first half, then they didn't give up shit after that, took over, and wouldn't let us lose about the defense. Definitely did. Bob Hartman saw a poor deep ball game from every team that played in the cold last weekend. Seemed like every deep ball was overthrown across the whole league. True.
Fair point.
No, we need a little deflation.
Deflategate
for the whole league.
So we want to get into Dallas a little bit, get some predictions going.
Yeah, did we want to touch upon, do the Eagles currently have more question marks than any 13-2 team in recent memory? Do we want to go through some of them
whatever
things?
you want to do. You want to go there first, you go Dallas first, you call it.
You guys,
I think they do just because of the quarterback position. When your MVP candidate and your quarterback goes down, ultimately, regardless of what else happens, you're going to have questions. And it's this type of stuff where you have a great game against New York, and then you have a bad game in elements or, not elements, but, conditions.
Well, let's throw this out to the listeners then real quick. I mean, it's obviously not a Twitter poll question, but, do the Eagles currently have more question marks than any 13-2 team in recent memory? Just throw it out to the folks. And some of the things that we came up with were obviously the quarterback, consistency in the running game, offensive line, linebackers, secondary lapses, things like that.
I think they're all legit.
There's a lot of things that can be cleaned up, but are they all really, seriously question marks? Or has this team just been so good all year that things that happen over the course of a season, all of a sudden we're like, oh, shit, we need to clean that up. We need to clean that up. We need to clean that up.
Yeah, well, when your quarterback still leads the league in touchdown passes, he hasn't played in 2 weeks, nobody's going to look good.
Yeah,
offensively.
Nobody.
The standards too. The standards so high. You know what I mean? They say don't put pussy on a pedestal. Well, it's hard not to when she still leads the league in touchdown passes.
Yeah.
And hasn't played in 2 weeks. We're gonna put pussy on a pedestal.
Well,
and that just happened.
John DeCasanovo, as soon as we mentioned Dallas, he said, Derek Barnett has more touchdowns than Dak has passing since Wentz tore his ACL. Hashtag facts.
That's true, too.
We have more defensive touchdowns, too.
He stinks.
Than Dak has touchdown passes since Wentz got hurt.
Somebody did a video of that earlier on in the year. I don't remember who. Mandingo Ray, though, says, hope you guys had a great Christmas.
Yeah,
thanks,
Mandingo.
Mandingo.
Buddy.
Mandingo. So who did you think we will play first? And I think Doug will come with a whole different game plan from the regular season. Well, hopefully he does. Hopefully he does change things up and shifts things around a little bit. You don't want to come in, with everything the same. You want to have some scripted plays that are definitely different. Mike James, I'm more worried about the first-round game. I'm more worried about first-round game than NFC Championship. Most likely, if they win, they'll play Minnesota, who I think they can beat. they probably play Carolina or New Orleans in the first round, who will be a tougher matchup. So he's actually more worried about the first rounder than he is the chip. And he thinks that you win the first one and you get Minnesota at home, that's an easier game. Could be. Could be. Could be.
I mean, absolutely could be. But
somebody's going back. Well, both could be one going back to Minnesota or two. Think about it. We could both be traveling back.
Yeah.
Different flights.
Here's
we wouldn't be going.
Here's the one great thing, though. Basically, since they got back from the West Coast, they've basically slept in their own beds every night, with the exception of the night before the Giants game. They bus up there on Saturday. They sleep there Saturday night. They play Sunday. They come home right after the game on Sunday. So there's something to be said when you have your last 2 games of the season at home and you've clinched home field advantage throughout, and your last away game was 90 miles up the turnpike and you only had to be gone for one night. This is a team that could consistently sleep in their own beds and be in their own surroundings for 7 weeks before the NFC Championship game. That's huge. That's huge.
It matters. No traveling. Big.
By the way, totally off topic. When you see them walking into stadiums on the road with their big suitcases, and like they're only there for a day, what is in their suitcase?
They just want to bring the big bag. They
I mean,
spend a lot of money on
you're traveling with either their suit or your team gear. What else is in the suitcase? I don't get it. It baffles me every time I see these guys walking with
big fur coats.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe some day.
Maybe
Deodorant. I wasn't talking about.
Maybe some Xboxes and cool. I mean, I just.
It's possible.
It's
said,
showing
off topic.
off the bag.
It's
Daddy.
off topic.
They're just showing the bag off.
Wondering,
it's
especially
Louis.
like
they spent $1,000 on the goddamn bag.
Home games,
Those
people
stuff
rolling in
everything
with the oversized bags. Like, what is in there?
Anyway. Peter Anapol, outside of what was a questionable good game against a horrible Giants team, Foles has not proven that he can lead this Eagles team. He was awful in L.A. and Kansas City before coming back to Philly.
Well, hold on a second. Let's back up the
and
trade.
He says Dallas by 12, Foles breaks clavicle, Eagles early playoff exit. Jesus Christ, Pete.
Let's back up the trade.
Back
on
up
all
your
of this.
train.
He wasn't horrible in L.A. L.A.'s offense was horrible.
Well, this guy's
because
upset.
Here's the thing. Who did you have? Who did you have that were the quarterbacks in L.A.? What was Foles and Keenum, who are now both on teams that could wind up meeting in the NFC Championship game. And, oh, by the way, Jeff Fisher and his entire coaching staff got fired. So anything that happened in L.A., I don't put on either Foles or Keenum. And he wasn't horrible in Kansas City. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
He had one start in Kansas City. He threw for like 235 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know where people like he wasn't terrible. Yeah, obviously he's the only quarterback. He's the only guy in the league that your starter goes down, you have a Pro Bowl backup. So, that matters. Right? The guy's made a Pro Bowl before. Granted, we know it's not who he is from when he's ever do, but he's still made a Pro Bowl before in this league, and that's not easy to do. It's just not easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's still just a backup, though.
He's just backup, but he's a backup who can win games in this league, and that matters. Bob Hartman.
Oh, and I did figure out the answer to what we were talking about last week. The only other backup in the league that I would even remotely want to take with Foles would be Derek Anderson, Carolina. That's it. There's not another backup in the league that I think is even close to Foles.
No, I agree. And Foles isn't. We're
Pat
not.
Mahomes.
We'll find out.
We'll see. I guess we'll see. Yeah.
He should have been starting since week 6.
Probably right. Bob Hartman.
I mean, you're not going to win the Super Bowl anyway with Alex Smith. So why not take your top 10 pick when you're struggling and put him in?
Yeah, because those Texas Tech quarterbacks are freaking awesome in the NFL, right?
Pat Mahomes is going to be.
Stop it. Stop it. He'll be pitching for the Phillies in 3 years.
Hey, I'll take it.
We're all on our hands and knees. Bob Hartman, not a big deal, but did you notice that Ajayi was the starter and we didn't see nearly as much Jenkins on a wide receiver or Graham on the field with Ellerbe out there? Yes. No
absolutely.
Corey Graham, Ellerbe, we talked about this early on, and Malcolm, where we bitched and moaned at for how long, shouldn't be a slot guy for 3 years, and Jim made that adjustment. So hopefully he doesn't get cute again moving forward and realize this is the best for your football team.
Well, and it's the one thing, though, is that, we'll give credit where credit is due, but let's also take a look at the fact that Oakland doesn't run a ton of 3 wide. They run a lot of 2 tight end. They also will run 2 backs occasionally. So the matchup was real good for what we wanted to do defensively. I think they did a great job. I mean, obviously we talked about it. Crabtree completely shut out. Jared Cook was a non-factor. The Amari Cooper touchdown, Jalen Mills was basically instructed that if he runs the slant to jump the route, you'll have safety help over the top. Problem was Rodney McLeod also jumped the route when he was supposed to have Jalen Mills' back. So, I mean, realistically, they should have given up 3 points. So, again, I'm not going to complain about the defense at all. I think things could change up a bit if in the playoffs teams want to come out and they want to run 3 and 4 wide. It might be a different story. I mean, we'll see. But for now, I have no complaints about the defense.
No, me either. Martin Williams, best backup in the league. And then he goes on to say Pat Mahomes is the future. Bob Hartman, do we wish Jim would incorporate more stunts from the D-line? Definitely. And it definitely putting Brandon over top of the guards more often, too, so you can get Vinny on the field or Chris Long on the field and add on to some speed out there.
Yeah, that was an interesting twist because I didn't notice that much of the year prior to the other night when it was obviously pointed down our face by Gruden every play. But it was an interesting way of, because we always thought that you were going to leave Brandon on the outside and move Vinny in.
Right.
And they just flipped it.
They flipped it. Yeah.
And which was interesting because
different wrinkle.
Yeah, because Brandon's a little quicker than Vinny, but he's also a little smaller. So that's why I guess we all assumed that you would throw Vinny inside because you're a little bit more mass, and then you let Brandon do what Brandon does and get on the outside. But yeah, it was a nice wrinkle.
Yeah, well, week to week, and especially moving into the playoffs, if you got matchups you think you can exploit over the guard or wherever, you want to move these guys around in matchups that work for these guys.
And that's the thing. Oakland had a similar offensive line situation like we did. Is they had one side that was very strong, like two out of the 3 going to the Pro Bowl, and then the other 2 were jabrones they pulled off the street the night before, kind of like we have with Vitae and Warmack.
So Jay Lash says, this team needs to have the Al Pacino Any Given Sunday speech on a loop going into the playoffs. Todd Womack says, for the Cowboys game, I want the offense to play until halftime. TTP Baldwin says, I want him to play through the third quarter, if not the whole game. Want Foles to get as many game reps as possible. Jay Lash says, Doug has been playing conservative to keep players healthy going into the playoffs.
I would have wanted him to play half regardless of what happened.
Expect him to let the dogs out. John DeCasanova.
I was going to do it.
John DeCasanova says, in all seriousness, what do you guys think of Dak?
Stinks. That's in all seriousness. Stinks. Another situation where a pussy was put on a pedestal and it wasn't what you thought it was. And when you really got deep down into that shit smelled horrendous. And that's what you have there. When you really get through the layer, it smells. All right? It looks good. Big body, strong arm. Stinks.
He's a 4th-round draft pick for a reason.
And I think that's fair.
Should never let Romo go.
And I think that's fair. He's a 4th-round pick. Is he
Stinks.
Carson Wentz? Is he Jared Goff right now? No,
Not even
but
close.
But he wasn't a top 2 pick.
Well, I'm just saying, off expectations last year for Cowboys fans, they were a lot, right?
Yeah.
And down to earth because he's not good enough.
This is great.
Not good enough.
If Foles lays an egg this weekend, anyone else think Peyton Manning has 3 games left in him and leave it all out on the field? I would take Kaepernick before I would take Peyton Manning.
Neither. I'll take Sudfeld.
Oh,
he knows the offense.
Nate.
He knows the offense better than Peyton Manning. God, if I hear Omaha, I might blow my brains out.
Curly claims I'm ignoring his comments.
Of course he does.
Did he delete his one? He said they'll be on the golf. They'll be on the. Don't worry, they'll be sleeping in their own bed soon. One and done. They'll be on the golf course. And then he claimed I was ignoring his comments, and I wasn't. I just didn't get to him.
But if they're on the golf course, though, Curly, they won't be here because he ain't golfing here.
Yeah.
He golfing in Arizona or Florida.
You know where they're golfing? After the Super Bowl, they're golfing in the
Disney
World.
No, all the guys will be at the Pro Bowl because they'll have time.
Peter Anapol kept yelling Omaha. Bob Hartman, why did it take Oakland so long to move Mack around on the D-line, especially to the right side where he could go up against the left side of our O-line? Well, I think they like it's Cliff Averill right over there on the other side. Or who's on the other side? Is it Averill?
I don't know.
No.
Did he play?
No, I want to say it's the.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Yeah, Curly will know.
Girl, who's on the other side of Mack?
But to his point though, I don't know why they didn't either.
Well, because I think they were confident enough, on their right side to get it done. Martin Williams, I'm okay with a half from starters, but I
I'll find
also want to see Suffolk get some action. God forbid Nicky gets hurt. We got to know what we got. Well, it's not going to matter to know what we got because if Nicky gets hurt in a playoff game, that's all we got. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he gets a rep or not. It's probably over regardless. You give him 500 goddamn reps, and you're probably going to get the same goddamn result. Slop.
He's a practice squad quarterback for a reason.
Yeah.
No, not Cliff Averill, Bruce Irvin.
Bruce Irvin.
That's the name that I was.
Okay.
Seattle was in my head.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, no, I knew. As soon as you
Yeah.
said Cliff Averill, I knew exactly who you meant.
I couldn't get the name out.
I was
but,
just
but Bruce
blanking
Irvin,
on his name.
They didn't want to move him really more than they didn't want to move Matt.
Right.
Well, that's the problem
essentially.
is Irvin only plays the one side.
And that's fine because he's good. I mean, he's not. He's a drop off from Khalil Mack, but he's still legit. And
Yeah.
he can go get quarterbacks, and he did.
Yeah.
He did. And that's why they didn't move him, Bobby, because that's all they need to do over there. They're like, what else can we do over here? Or we can try to win over here, and what they get over there, they got 2 holding calls on
two big
Khalil.
holding calls, yeah.
And that's huge because where do they know they're going to run the football? Going in the game,
Yeah.
you know they're going to try to attempt to run to the strong side of their line, which is the right side. And that's where they come from. Lorraine Nelson, Dak is average at best. Pictured him singing Angels. My boyfriend's back before the game with Zeke back.
I love the old school like rhythm and or the R&B doo-wop references.
Oh, yeah. And you know
my
he was
boyfriend's
excited.
back,
My boyfriend's back.
and there's gonna be trouble.
The show could go for trouble with that.
We're off the rails.
But no, he got him back, and, you saw the results Sunday. So,
Yeah. Could have used a couple touchdowns from Zeke, but
TTP ball, and the way Tom just burst out into a Dak stinks rant has me crying. Jay Lash, can anyone tell me what Jason Garrett actually does for the Cowboys other than clap like a cheerleader and stare creepily from the sideline?
that is one guy that I am shocked that hasn't been, like, especially this year, like, hasn't been brought up, like, on hot seat rumors. Because you're right. What has he actually won or done recently? That would solidify his job.
I'll give you the flip side of this. I actually think he's a way better coach than he shows in Dallas. I think he's scared to wipe his ass in Dallas because of what Jerry will say.
I don't disagree one bit with that.
And if you're winning, Jerry might be wiping your ass.
Or at least paying someone to do it.
I mean,
You win 30
put it
games a year,
this way.
Jerry's
Yeah.
wiping.
If he got fired, he'd be like Andy Reid. He'd get fired. He'd have another job in a
there's
week.
no doubt.
I think he's a good football guy. I think he's limited with his quarterback right now. And, he had the suspension of his best player.
And
And them things factor in. I'm not making excuses for Cowboys.
But back to
I don't think he's a bad football coach.
No, he's not.
But going back to that, though, how different is their year if he sits out the first 6 games versus when he did?
Could have been the same.
It could have been the same, but it could have been totally different.
Could have been totally different.
I think you see
agree.
their quarterback for who he is, and they weren't.
No,
gonna
I'm not
get it
saying
done
that's
enough.
not true. But
just
I'm saying now you're coming into the end of the year, instead of missing 6 games.
Could be a different result.
You
Could
know.
be. Peter Anapol, he wants to see Foles have a momentum game before the playoffs. And the only thing I have to say to that is he had a momentum game in New York and came back and you saw the results. So
I understand what he's saying, and I
get
kind of
it.
agree. But
I'd rather him have a bad one.
any
and then I feel like
momentum
the good one's
game,
coming.
you're still sitting a week anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
So any momentum that you're looking for this team, and I'm with you.
I just want to get reports he's slinging in the dome. You know what I mean? At the practice facility. They're just, Nick's been slinging today. Look really good. That's all you want to hear.
But you're still sitting a week. So regardless
Yeah.
of what happens next week, just throw it out the door.
You know where I'm going with
Tons
this?
of momentum in the shower.
Go back to the last preseason that Chip was here and Bradford was the starting quarterback, and they
Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay game.
the Green Bay game where they held. They held
The preseason?
Yeah, so they held. Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is that they, so they
still
hold.
trying to get those
They
tickets
hold
back.
Bradford out of the first 2 preseason games, and then they say, well, Bradford's going to play a half. He may play into the third quarter. He comes out 2 drives, goes 12 for 12, 2 touchdowns, and he's on the bench. This week, Nick Foles comes out 2 drives, 12 for 12, 2 touchdowns. He goes sit down.
Go sit down.
Just go sit down.
And everyone's got to refund their tickets in Minnesota.
Michael James, not defense and special teams could make plays, and Foles plays average and doesn't turn the football over. They could win.
Yeah, but special teams has been where?
Well, I mean,
At least in the return game. I mean, I think the the special, the field goal kick and whatever, that's fine. But the return game to me is
or whatever that is.
Whatever that is, because how much do you really work on that? I mean,
right.
if you're going to block a kick, you're offsides. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But like the return game, I would like to see a burst from Kenyon or some sort of play set up to where your blocking scheme is set up correctly to where we can hit something, because that's been lacking this year.
It's hard. I think I saw a stat. I think it was this weekend when Carolina returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and it's only the third punt or kickoff that was returned for a touchdown this year.
Yeah, there was.
Like, it's just across the league. It's just completely
There was
down.
nothing. There was nothing until I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago in terms of kickoff returns.
Right.
There was nobody had any, and that was surprising.
It is.
Somebody would have a kickoff right on that, and then the kickoff left happens and they get burned. But nobody did.
Jay Lash says, every time I see Jerry Jones, I can't help myself but think this might be the last time we see this dude. Feels like he died a few years ago and there's a robot in his place.
Could be. He's got a lot of money. That's oil money. You know what I mean? That's a lot of dough. You guys want to do Eagles-Cowboys predictions? Offensive, defensive player of the game? Is it or Nate Sudfeld? Is somebody going to say Nate? Did we get confirmation on how much our starters are playing?
No, just that they're playing.
Just that they're playing.
Ryan, we'll do Dallas and then we'll go. All right?
Just a break, people. Relax.
Yeah.
We're going to be here.
We're not going anywhere.
Don't let Mike scare you away. Don't let the big moose get you shifted from where our agenda here. Everybody's like, all right, bye, guys. I think I just broke my computer. Does it work?
There you go. It's back up.
Max.
I don't know. We're going to predictions.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know where we were going. Yeah.
I don't know if I can give a score because I don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I guess I'll go
Roll
with this.
job. Let's go.
Yeah. I would like to see the starters play into the third quarter, a la like a third preseason game.
But you wanted them to do that anyway, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Can we all agree before we even go into that we wanted them to play a significant amount of time?
If you play the whole game,
weekend?
I don't care.
Yeah, and I think it's not going to hurt them.
I don't care if you treat this as a must-win.
You should, essentially, because you don't want 2 weeks off.
Right. So,
and it's Dallas, so it's a get-up game regardless if both teams are already going in their directions.
And then vice versa, I don't know how much Dallas is going to care about the game either.
Well, here's where I am. For me, it's they play the entire first half, come out into the third quarter, and then from there I think score kind of dictates what they do.
Yeah, and ultimately it's going to be Doug's feel on what he thinks his guys, because I think, for example, I think if Ertz takes another hit like he did on that one ball that sailed, I think he's out right away.
Yeah.
Like if that hit happens in the first quarter, sorry, Zach, thanks, buddy.
And
go
honestly,
to the showers, and I'm okay with that.
It really wouldn't faze me if a guy like Ertz, who just had a concussion a couple weeks ago, isn't even active at all, and they run Trey Burton. Like, I'm fine with little things like that.
Yeah.
But even with that, then you still have the week.
Yeah.
Like, even like any minor little injury, like if it's an ankle and it's a minor thing, you got to buy.
Yeah.
So like any way you look at it, you got to buy a week after.
Sure.
So you can play. Like, I wanted to play 3 quarters anyway, at least. Or, go into the fourth. If a guy gets nicked up and you get worried and get some guys out, that's fine. Like a guy like Brandon Graham, who went from MRI this week, he doesn't see the field Sunday.
Right.
That's fine. I can get away with like one defensive guy not seeing the field, compared to a group of guys. Like him, I don't let him see. It's too important. We lost too much. Got to make sure we have guys to go get the quarterback.
Yeah.
And we're so deep there anyway. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
what about the Sidney Jones thought?
Actually,
you start hearing.
It's funny because Jay Lash just chimed in with that. Expect to see Sidney Jones out there. The link will erupt.
Well, Doug says day to day. I think he's going to play this one smart. I don't think he sees the field, man.
I hope not. I wouldn't. Again, one of those
mad
things.
If
I wouldn't hate
ready.
it, but it's one of those things where like, unless you're legitimately planning on playing him in the playoffs, unless he's going to take somebody's spot, I don't see why he needs to play. If he's taking someone's spot in the playoffs, then yes, he needs to see the field.
They have to activate him by.
They have to activate him this week, or else he's done for the season.
Right.
Now, here's the thing for me. I keep the red shirt on him because you're not going to put him in the secondary in the playoffs unless you're absolutely desperate, and he's not playing special teams for you.
No. And
he doesn't come off of an injury and play special teams.
Not this injury.
Yeah.
And you're right. Unless he's wowed you at practice, like unless you like at practice, you're just like, oh my god, he just makes every play, and I don't care if it's in t-shirts and shorts. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, he's just everywhere. Is this Deion? Like, oh my god, it's Deion. Prime, and everybody's priming him. Then it's like, okay, we got to shoot you then, because we can use you, because we know we're gonna need defense. But dude, it's an Achilles.
Right.
He's not who he was. I'm telling you. September, when you see him in preseason next year, you're gonna be wowed by Sidney Jones.
Agreed.
Just give it the time and be patient, people. I want to see him too. And if they think he's ready, he's out there, I'm all for it then. But I really don't think that. I think day to day is a little wink that we're gonna keep him where he is. There's no need. We're really deep there right now going into the playoffs. It's not a position of need. Somebody that's got a lot of playing time is going to then have to.
If he's a middle linebacker, he's in the game.
He's in the game. We'll deal with the Achilles.
This is great. TTP Ballin says, this Cowboys season is a prime example of Stephen A. Smith's accident waiting to happen. Zeke suspension, Dak regression, riddled with injuries, coaches now hated, the list goes on. Could also throw Dak and Dez now feuding.
You could.
And yet, Earl Thomas wants to go play for them.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Crumb. At least he's from Texas. Like, it could be worse.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, but you just
He
won,
still
dude.
should be here.
You just won.
Oh.
He still should be here.
And then Brandon won it. So.
And I'm okay with that.
All right. I'm not saying you shouldn't be. James Shaw.
That's my Dawkins replacement.
James Shaw. I could see City replacing Mills if Mills' ankle isn't healed for the Dallas game.
Yeah, but long term though,
And it's
Like, that's
Douglas
what I'm
right
saying,
now.
like-
It's Douglas right now.
And I agree with what you're saying, but
it's not going to be Mills.
it's not like Mills isn't going to play in the playoffs. Like
Right.
that's where I'm at. If he's taking someone's job, like if Patrick Patterson can't play in the
Robinson.
playoffs,
I
or
wish it was
Robinson,
Patterson.
whatever. I
Jesus.
wish it was Peterson too. But if he can't play and he's got to go out, then I understand it. But unless he's taking
These
someone's
guys are all.
spot.
Jay Lash saying the same thing. Like, oh, Mills. Robinson's injury prone and Mills was beat up. You have 2 weeks to get a guy like Mills healthy. He doesn't have to play. He's going to be fresh for that game.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's fine.
You don't have to play Mills.
If Mills is another one who doesn't dress, fine. Mills doesn't dress. I'll start Rasul, and I'll have Rasul shadow Dak the entire game. And if they give up 35 points because he got his lunch eaten by Dak, you know what? It's a hell of a learning experience in a game that means nothing.
Yeah, you're not going to. Like I said, you're not going to see Sidney Jones come in and play over guys who have been playing this defense this whole season. It's just not realistic. Again, for a rookie too, just be like, okay, here you go. I know you're ready. It's just not, and especially in a playoff game,
Right.
Like he's going to take a guy's job who's had a job the whole season.
Yeah.
Just not realistic things.
Well, TTP
this year.
TTP Ballin says we can activate him, but just not let him play, right? And the answer to that is yes, but then you got to cut somebody.
Yeah, right. Who are you
so
cutting?
So who are you cutting? I mean,
for what? It's just a for what situation. Like, would you rather you have enough? We have enough to worry about injury wise going into next year because of one guy, right? We don't need more, right? So Sidney Jones from an Achilles, which is major, boys, major 2-year injury. Let it be. So he's a fully healthy Sidney Jones for next year. That's that. Let it be. Trust me on this. We don't need more shit to worry about with a guy that we stole in the second round. Treat that and baby that asset so he's ready to go next year. And that Achilles, I don't care if the doctor says 100%. It's going to be 120 coming back next year with more time off from the physical game of football that he's going to get into.
And if they did that and they did have to cut somebody, the only 2 names I can come up with are Chance Warmack and Bo Allen. I mean, that's it. Everybody else has some sort of role on this team, either offensive rotation, defensive rotation, special teams, something. I mean, and Bo Allen's a rotational defensive tackle, so I don't necessarily want to cut him, but he might be expendable. And then Chance Warmack just flat out sucks. If Wisniewski comes back, I'm done with him.
Yeah, and next year, Sidney Jones will be one of your starting corners.
Sure.
In some fashion because you're going to have these 3 guys. It's going to be Mills, Darby, and Jones. That's what it's going to be. Robinson's not going to come back.
No.
So this is what you're going to roll in the next year. So don't worry, we'll all get our Sidney in us.
Oh, this is
Deep
great,
in
though.
us. We'll get him in us.
This is great. TTP Ballin says, cut Torrey Smith's sorry ass, LMAO. And then he says, just kidding. He's actually played pretty well the last few weeks.
yeah. It's better.
Jay Lash says, our offense has been taking a step back. Defense has been stalling lately as well. Jones being out there could keep our secondary playing for their jobs as well.
Not this time.
Motivation. Time to lay dicks on the table and go, go, go.
I think that more or less, again, when we go back to...
That's an OTA thing, baby.
Well, yeah, but I think it goes back to the time of the year. If this is a 4-4 ball club and Sidney Jones is coming back...
by all means.
Then,
right.
put him in the game and let's get some competition going back there. At this point of the year, why?
Yeah, for what? It's not going to create competition.
Yeah.
OTAs in a couple months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Ricky Waters once said. For who? For what?
For what? Simple. All right.
And Al Rowan.
Did you give your prediction?
I didn't. I'll go 38-35.
Who?
Eagles.
All right.
Just so you guys don't hammer me again.
14-2. You got a player of the game?
Nate Sudfeld.
Nice.
He's slinging for 400 yards.
Look, I'm keeping it real. It's 31-21 Dallas. Player of the game is Zeke. They're gonna give it to him 40 times probably.
I don't know. This team just wins games, so I'll go Eagles again. I'll flip you, or I won't flip you. I'll go 27-21 Eagles. Player of the game, it's going to be Foles. He's going to have a good game, so and it'll relax people a little bit. He'll have a good game. We'll run the ball well. We'll limit some penalties and play a clean game.
For the record, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter to me either way. Who's right?
Did this
in
couch
one.
get switched?
Yeah, right.
Did we just become best friends?
Bob Hartman, 24-20 Birds, Smallwood, player of the game. Wendell sighting.
Could happen.
It very well could happen.
That could be actually, realistically, if they do want to activate Sidney Jones, Bob may have just hit it on the head. That's the guy you cut.
And that's a heck of a guy to cut.
It is a heck of a guy to cut.
I mean, that's a heck of a guy getting outplayed by an undrafted rookie free agent. And it goes to show, though, that maybe he, while everything happened with Corey Clement, maybe he wasn't as bad as, you might have alluded to because he was undrafted early in the preseason when everyone else was crowning him. And there's other people that were just, hey, he's a serviceable guy. He did very good things in the Big Ten.
Yeah, he catch a football, and I think that's what
he's been playing
separates him
very well.
That's what separates him from Wendell Smallwood is his ability on third downs.
Yes.
His not only blocking ability on third downs, pass blocking, but his ability to catch the football separates him from Wendell Smallwood.
Sure.
Corey Clement ain't getting a lot of first down snaps. You got to look at that.
But I looked at,
I'm saying that's what separates
this game.
though.
He got a lot of key play snaps.
Right,
though.
but here's the thing,
Key drive
right,
snaps.
right now with Wendell Smallwood, he's an explosive kickoff returner. The problem is he can't catch punts and he can't catch the football out of the backfield.
It's two big problems.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is if he could actually catch the goddamn football, Kenyon Barner wouldn't have a job because they would have just used Smallwood on punts, kickoffs, and as a third down back out of the backfield.
Than Kenyon Barner.
No, he's way more
yeah.
explosive.
That's facts. Ismail Rodriguez, 27-26 Birds. Alshon, player of the game.
26. How do you get to 26?
I don't know. James Shuloff, I don't do math. You have to wonder.
Bunch of field goals.
Are they not showing the full playbook for the offense, trying to keep it fresh for the playoffs so there's no tape on it?
Possibly,
Possibly some of that going on. So, listen, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll continue Eagles talk as much as we want to go, as much as you want us to go. We'll talk some Sixers and the 5-game losing streak at the Garden on Christmas Day, which is part one present.
The tip-off of the Christmas Day.
Just the tip of Christmas.
Hey.
Presents.
Just for a second.
Of presents. I wasn't going there, guys.
Yeah,
you guys have the minds of your own.
JoJo knocked down that three from the wing.
Oh, it looked like a two-guard. It looked like a two-guard. Coming off the screen.
7'1" two-guard. Dropping daggers.
He's so good. And it's part of the Sixers rant we had earlier on in the week that me and you talked about.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Sixers and how good are they and how bad are they really without Joel Embiid. We'll talk Sixers, Eagles, all that on the other side. This segment was brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2D Radio. We'll be right back.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer, LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
We're back. Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2DRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City studios. BMW of Atlantic City. We're off exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMWOfAtlanticCity.com. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web at GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Ryan Brodo on the ones and twos. Tonight, filling in for the Pove over there. Our poll question, if you're just joining us.
Well, it's Cowboys week. Of course, Pove's gone.
Yeah, well, smart guy. He knows what he's coming into. The Lions nest over here, or den, whatever the fuck you call it. But
actually, to Poe's credit, he was a little salty. He had like the holiday family commitments that he thought he was going to be able to get taken care of earlier in the week, and not so much.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Right. Part of the gig. Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. What do the Eagles need to improve on the most against the Cowboys? Prepare for the playoffs. Offensive efficiency, third down conversions, offense execution, sort of go hand in hand, reducing penalties, inconsistent secondary. Let us know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. We'll still talk Eagles moving on here. We want to get into a little 10-9-8.
Yeah.
Snap the 5-game losing streak, and I believe 1-9 without Joel Embiid. Am I correct with that one, right?
It was
1-8. I thought it was 1-8.
Roll that up real
here?
quick. Yeah, I think I got that in there.
I didn't look in there. 1-7.
Yeah, 1-7.
I think it's got to be 1-8 now, doesn't it? Though, did they lose another one without him?
Did they play since Christmas?
No, before Christmas. I thought it was 1-8. Whatever, 1-7.
Whatever.
A lot without him.
Yeah.
Facts, semantics. A lot without him, and people want to judge Brett Brown and run him out of town this early into a season. 1 and 2 without the star player and your franchise not on the court on a team where it's really not as NBA legitimate in terms of a roster top to bottom as people may think it is, because we're so accustomed to slop and not an NBA roster that when you do have a J.J. Redick, which is a legit NBA player, but dives through the rest, dive through the Jared Baylesses of the world that are a 5 to 10 minute guy if they're lucky on a legit NBA team, a TLC who doesn't even see time on an NBA team, and Amir Johnson, you can maybe say is a 5-10 minute guy on a legit NBA team. I mean, the list goes on. Rashawn Holmes, maybe if he even plays on a legit NBA team.
Well, it's like we talked about.
I mean, come on.
We talked about last week. Like, who do you trust outside of the starters? Who do you trust? And that the problem is you can't legitimately answer that with this roster.
No, and McConnell, like you could say, is a glue guy, but maybe still like a 12-minute guy on an NBA deep playoff team, right?
Yeah.
So. That's how you have to – you can't judge Brett Brown yet. You have to judge him with Embiid on the court. And I believe they're 14-10 with JoJo on the court. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have to judge him off of. And even more so is that the lack of chemistry that comes with only being 14-10 with him on the court because of the games he's missed.
Yeah.
So you even have to look at his job and say you're doing even a better job. And you're doing it with a point guard who can't shoot, your number 1 overall pick who hasn't been on the court yet, and Markelle Fultz. So all this matters, and you're talking about the guy, can't run a good play out of a timeout, or can't run or this play, or turnovers down the stretch. Well, all that comes with a young basketball team too. So I just want people to pump their brakes on that, and then let's get into diving deeper into some things and talking about what's ahead of the new year. We won't be on next week. What's the comfort of Sixers?
Well, let's talk about also along those same lines. Did we get spoiled early in the season? They started out 1-4, but then they went on a nice little run. And did that set unreal expectations? Because I think we all sat here preseason and basically said that if they could be, 500 or better going into January, when the schedule finally cuts them a little bit of a break, and Joe is healthy and everybody kind of hits their stride, they'll be fine. Well, they got 3 games left in December. If they win all 3 of them, they're 18-18 going into January, which is pretty much where we thought they were going to be. Now, I don't think they sweep all 3 of these games out there, but you never know. You never know.
They're still in striking distance.
Yeah, they're easily within striking distance.
And that's
even
what,
1 and 2, they're striking distance.
And that's what you wanted. That's what you've gotten every year so far. I think this is the first year that you can actually judge Brett Brown. I think the past 3 or 4 years, I forget how long he's been here.
Yeah.
But this is the only year. This is the year you can start judging him. If you want to give him 2 years, 3 years from here, I'm good with that.
Right.
Because he's got at least 6 NBA players on his roster.
That's fair.
I think he's got 6 legit NBA players.
Well, hold on. Let's run it down.
Guys that see more than. All right, we'll go 8 because
I want to identify your 6. So obviously you're talking Embiid, Ben, Saric,
Dario, JJ.
I'm guessing
I'm
going
guessing
Foles.
Markelle because
Right,
he's your number 1 pick, so that's 5. And then
you're not throwing Rocco in there.
No, I am throwing Rocco. I
right.
think Rocco is an NBA player. I think he's an Andre Iguodala-ish player.
He's not as good as some people make him out to be, but he's not as he's like a Nick Foles. Like he's not 27-2.
Yeah.
So he's not 13 from 15 from 3. And he's also not 1 for 13 from 3.
Right.
Well,
he's somewhere in the middle.
He got paid to be. He
that guy.
got paid to be a 3-and-D guy, and then as soon
with
as
Joel on the court.
Yeah,
right.
and as soon as he got paid, his 3 went out the window.
Well, because
true.
But then
facts are facts.
Joel also wasn't in those games.
You're absolutely right.
It'd be interesting.
He's paid to play with him.
Right.
With
it's
him.
interesting.
He's not a
create your own guy.
He's not a create your own guy. Perfect word. He's not a create your own guy without Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Or Ben in the post. With either one of those, I guess not in the post. Because with JoJo's game is he can come out to the top and let Ben do work against a guard.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. But it's funny because I was on the phone with him. When the hell was it? Monday night? Last week, Monday night. And JoJo wasn't playing. You were getting ready to travel or whatever. And I'm on the phone with him, and I just go, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm like, Ben's playing in the post, and he's ready to dominate his guy, and there's not a goddamn player on the court that can throw him an entry pass. I mean, it's frustrating.
But it would be interesting to take, like, JJ, per se, and even Rocco, take their numbers with Embiid versus without Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
And see what the difference is, because having that dominant low post presence is a key when you have streaky shooters. You don't have all-time shooters like Steph, Clay, and Kevin. You know what I mean? JJ is one of those guys, but even he's been streaky this year. Rocco is a streaky shooter, so he needs that dump out of the post to where he can just catch and fire and go at it, as opposed to having to come off 7 million screens and be a JJ Redick, where that's not his game.
There's nobody more important to an NBA roster outside of LeBron James that makes a team be a playoff team to a lottery team. And I'm talking high lottery team. And that's the Joel Embiid factor right now. It doesn't lie to you.
Right.
1-7, 1-8, whatever the hell it is, it doesn't matter. It's 1 in a lot.
Yeah.
Doesn't lie compared to 14-10. So that stuff doesn't lie to you. And that's why you need Markelle.
Yeah.
And you hope he pans out the way you hope a number 1 pick does. And he can score more on his own, because you need more guys who can create shots on their own. JJ, a lot of reason why he's been streaky this year is he's been forced into that. Even though he's really developed his game to be able to do it better and better, he's not that guy who should be jacking 17 shots a night on this roster or any roster. He's just not. But that's who he's had to be, just because there's not a lot of create your own shot type guys on this roster right now. Outside of Joel, and he's your big man, which is amazing.
Yeah. What he's turned himself into is from a straight shooter to a pump and 2 jump shot guy, or 2 dribble jump shot guy. Or if you come at me, I can still keep going to the rim. Yeah. Now he's a pump, 3 dribbles. Let me see if I can create another spin move, which you're right, is not in his element.
Right.
That's not J.J. Redick.
No.
And that's not a knock on J.J. It's just that's who he is.
Well, we talked about it before the season. If Embiid played X amount of games, where would they be? If Embiid played X amount of games, could he win the MVP? And if you look at it, if he would have been able to play, let's say, high 70s, he'd be a guy in that conversation.
Sure.
Well,
right?
This is interesting. TTP Ballin chimes in and he said, Rocco reminds me of an inconsistent Wesley Matthews. More to the point, what I need to see is way more of off-ball movement. People try to say we move the ball like the Warriors, but when the ball goes into Bede, watch the rest of the team. And I think his point is spot on. Like, they lead the league in number of passes per possession, but the problem is once it goes into Joel down low, none of them move. I mean, and Joel has the talent. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but if guys were good at moving off the ball, he could average a triple-double.
Yeah.
He could.
Well,
he could be a 20, 10, and 10 guy.
Because every time you see him in the post, well, one, I think when TJ's not on the court, I feel like it takes a little longer to get Joel in the post.
Well,
when TJ's on the court, I feel like he almost demands a little bit more of Joel getting in the post and getting the ball down. I'm not crowning, I'm saying because he's more like that point guard thought process.
Right.
And Ben will learn that.
And Ben will learn because he's a baby. I'm saying TJ's a little more advanced than that, where it's, get down there.
Yeah.
And it starts quicker. And that's where you can see better ball movement off of that pass in out where you expect. But Rocco's a guy that as soon as you pass it out to him, it's a shot.
Yeah.
It's a shot. And that's what drives me insane with him, where you can see that extra pass, even though they do that really well outside of when it, like Mike's saying, when it's not into Embiid. They do that really well, but it is weird. It gets a little stagnant when it gets down there.
Right, but then the problem is, like you're saying, like if it does come back to Rocco, his shots immediately going up, but then you see that stuff gets contagious too, because then you run a guy like TLC off the bench in for Rocco, and he just automatically thinks that he, because he's playing the same position, he's got the same rights and responsibilities.
He's like, shit, man, you tell me I just jack all these up and I'll get paid that kind of money too?
Yeah.
Well, I'm jacking.
It's tough, though, because I think it comes back to Embiid missing games and them still not knowing what we have as a team together.
Exactly.
Because we still have yet to play a full season together.
I talked about it on the video, right, Greg? You can't flip it.
Yeah.
You can't flip. You can't tank for so long and expect this. It's like that. Especially without Embiid on the court. Especially without Embiid.
Without that, and without an actual guy who has a clue at the GM and Brian Colangelo. If you have Sam Hinkie there, he can flip the switch. And the roster would be what it is. Because he's getting somebody for Noel. He's getting someone for Ja. And the back half of his roster isn't as putrid as Nick Foles was this weekend.
You know what? I don't hate Trevor Booker, but you're absolutely right. They could have got a lot more for Ja, and Hinkie probably would have.
But to your point with the stagnant, it's coming to the point where it goes to Joe. All right, do we wait a second because Joe's going to work, or do we go right away, clog that middle up, and now Joe's triple teamed? So it's a little bit of a give and take.
Right.
But again, it comes with we have to have these guys playing together. And so far, this is what we're working with, and this is what happens with a young team.
One of the things that I saw on Monday that I really, really liked, that I actually think we need to see more of, is I think you need longer stretches. And I'm not saying this is permanent, but right now, longer stretches of TJ at the point with Ben at the 3. They just seem to play really well together on the court at the same time.
And guess what? You know you're getting a lot of good ball movement. You're getting unselfish guys, and with Joel on the court too. That's what you want, because that's what you want your offense going through is Joel Embiid, right?
And what you get out of that
we don't get as much offense through Embiid. And I think that's why a lot of times you'll see him up at the top of the key setting that screen, because you're just trying to get him involved in the offense any way you can, and hope that they don't switch, right? Or they do switch on a pick and roll, and you get a matchup problem and stuff like that. So
and it's so damn Clutch chimes in, and I think he's talking about this thing that you guys are out right now. His crazy part is that Fultz was meant to be the guy to fix these issues. Sadly, he's lost to a phantom injury. I don't know if it's phantom, but
I don't know if it's phantom, but
not phantom, but it's
to your point.
But it's a valid point.
It might go longer than it needed to.
But at the same time,
I agree with him on that.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, he is only a rookie.
Right.
He is only 18. So to even expect that he would be able to fix these issues right off the jump is tough.
Right.
But I get his premise and his point, and that's why you drafted him.
He's a guy who can score on his own. And that's what – and we talked about, okay, what is the one skill set Markelle Fultz brought to the NBA out of college? And it was, hey, this guy can create his own shot and he can get to the basket. Mm-hmm. And early on you saw a little bit of his ability to get to the basket. Couldn't finish, obviously, was dealing with a shoulder.
Right.
But, I like the toughness of just being out there, and he'll be fine. And especially if he gets to play with Embiid.
And
especially with Joel.
If he looks
he'll
like,
be fine.
When he was swatting the kids at the whatever school he was at, with the rim all the way down, his shoulder looked fine there when he was swatting those kids trying to dunk on them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Did
what.
you see that video?
I saw it.
If we get anything,
It was from a while ago, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was recent.
No. I would crush him. There's already been a video on it.
if we get anything close to Summer League Markelle Fultz, kid will be ridiculous.
Yeah, because he can score, Mike, and that's what he showed you in the summer. And then he got hurt.
Sadly, when this team is together, that's the one thing you don't necessarily need. We don't necessarily need more scoring, because we put up enough points to win games.
You're right, but go ahead.
But
Closer.
but it's
Zers.
right.
Closer.
It's another
closer.
guy. It's another guy in a rotation now. That when that second team comes in, now there's more stability around. So we don't go in these lulls to where Joe's got to put up 40, Ben's got to put up 30 to get to our 110.
Right,
Yeah,
but at crunch time, it's also another guy that they have to defend.
Agreed, yes.
So you can't collapse the entire defense on Joe, because you're going to have TJ over here spotting up, Rocco up here spotting up, and if everything goes to the one side of the court, now you've got a guy on the other side of the court that could create his own shot. So it causes matchup problems when they're all on the floor at the same time. So you're right. They don't necessarily need a ton of scoring out of him, but they need the matchup problem.
Yeah, and you're right, the stability.
And they need that last guy on the roster not to be here, because he's on the roster and playing,
right?
And somebody else isn't, and it makes you better that quickly. And that's another part of it too. But it's the other guy who can make a shot in a big spot, because without Joel, there's nobody that you're like, okay, games on the line like we've seen, and a guy to be able to put up, 6-8 points in a 3-minute span at the end of a game.
Right.
That's the kind of guy. That's the kind of guy he can be, and that's what's exciting, because he adds on. Ben right now isn't that guy because there's no jumper yet, but he doesn't need to be with Joel and Markelle if Markelle. He
still needs to be that guy, because he still needs that jumper.
No, not the jumper, the killer.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean? I think Markelle's a killer.
Dagger, yeah.
Yeah, Markelle's a killer because he's a shooter. Shooters are killers in my eyes.
TTP Ballin, would you guys make a move for Jordan Clarkson at the right cost? another sufficient veteran shooter.
A guy off the bench who can score. Yeah,
I love him. I mean, I don't know what you'd have to give up for him.
He's a free agent after this year, right?
I think
Jordan
so.
Clarkson's up.
I think so.
But it was the same thought process with Eric Bledsoe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Again, a guy that can just you either can run the point effectively, or if he's off the two, he can score effectively.
And that's Jordan Clarkson too.
And Jordan Clarkson's
not
the
as
same
good as
thing.
Eric Bledsoe to me at all.
But he's also not going to be as expensive as Bledsoe was.
No, and you're going to get him in free agent. You can get him in free agency, and it's another. Okay, say you don't bring Reddick back, or you do,
right?
And you bring Clarkson. You added it on with Markelle back in a whole healthy team. That's a really good basketball team.
Yeah, and at that point, that's
now you're deep.
Now you're not. Now you're kicking Jared Bayless out, which is
You
fine.
get
And now TJ is your legit backup.
Right.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room for a minute, because I know you hate the words minutes restriction. I detest it like a plague. I get that.
No, just back to backs now.
But that's the thing, is are we at the spot where if we play him in back-to-backs, can we restrict his minutes either in both games or the second game of a back-to-back?
I think we better get there, Mike, because you just see his presence. Even if he played 18 minutes, you got a better chance of winning than him playing 0.
Well, what was the game right before the Christmas game? He was supposed to be out, and he played 20 minutes.
Toronto.
You're right. He only had 3 points, but I missed the game because I was on the West Coast. But that game seemed like it was closer than it was because he was, to your point, he was a presence on that floor.
Just around. Just having him around and on the court. I don't think there's any issue with the back, that it's anything serious. It's what it seems like.
He looked good on Monday.
He looked good on Monday, and it seems like they'll be able to get him ready to play. So we'll see how they handle the back, and I think by the rest a little bit that he's had over the last, it's only going to help him.
The only thing that worries me a bit is it's something new. It's not like it was the knee or the ankle or the foot. Now it is a back. Now again, he looked great on Monday night or Monday afternoon. Throughout the whole first half of the year, I've been very, standoffish about the whole. I don't care what he does early in the year. Get me to January, and then I'll start caring.
No, it's almost January.
We're January now,
there.
so
we're there.
To your point, I want to start seeing some back-to-backs. Even if that second or that first game is only 15, 20 minutes, he needs to be on the court.
You got to feel how that body feels going into a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Which so many NBA players, tell you it's hard back-to-backs. Vegas tells you it's hard back-to-backs.
Right.
And their lines on back-to-backs, teams having to play back-to-back. So, just the body needs to know how that feels.
Right.
And the medical staff needs to see how that
Right, I agree. But
handles.
But for me, if in October, November, December, you're willing to play him 34 to 36 minutes a night, but then you're not going to play him the second game of a back-to-back, well, now January on, I want him playing both games of the back-to-back, but I'll take 18 minutes.
Or I'll take 32 in that stretch. You played him 38, and you eliminate 6 minutes there, and you do that, and you eliminate some minutes where you're talking about
build him back up a little bit.
Yeah, where you're talking about playing him 38. Well, okay, play him 30 or 32 in that game, and let him play a back-to-back situation. So you eliminate minutes there. Where now you can play, let's say 20 and 25 in one game in a back-to-back, and 20 and 25 in the next. Because in other games you don't play him 38.
Right.
So there are ways to work the minutes out. They really need to
but
work
what
it
about
out.
what about his rotation? Then his rotation's gonna suck.
Who? Brett's?
Yeah. I was playing that.
Oh yeah, because all people talk about is rotation.
It's a terrible rotation.
They run different because they run good rotations at their YMCA leagues.
Because we have a legitimate NBA team.
Yeah,
like
relax,
roster.
dude.
I was being.
Yeah, no, I know what you're
side.
saying.
Yeah,
I'm telling people to relax.
Yeah.
When him on the court, they're a playoff team. When him out on the court, it's not even a freaking NBA team.
No.
It's not a good one, guys. Ben's is not there yet. Remember, Joel's had all this time around the league. You know what I mean? Ben hasn't. Really? He had last year, but he didn't play, obviously. So, this is his first time playing. At least Joel last year got some time in the league, even though he was shut down. At least he got some time in the league.
Right, absolutely.
So for Ben, it's just relax. You know what I mean? He'll get better and better. But right now, this isn't a playoff team without Joel on the court.
Well, I without Joel on the court, yes.
Yes. With him, yes. They're a playoff team.
Oh, without him, it's not even close.
Not even close.
close.
Now, you can make an argument okay, Markelle was summer Markelle, or Markelle, you saw in college, that, okay, they're closer to being a playoff team without Joel, but probably still not there.
No.
Probably on the outside looking in.
Not with an 18-year-old rookie.
Just shows you how impactful this guy is. The LeBron James effect, the greatness effect. And I'll say that because when he plays, he's great.
Yes.
And that's not, I'm not calling him the greatest of all time or any of that. But when he's on the court, he's great.
Absolutely.
He's dominant. He's special. He makes everybody better. It's factual. He got Rocco paid for a small sample size with him on the court.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Does that make him the most valuable player in the NBA?
To me, it is. If he could play 78 this year, which he's not, to me, he would have been in that conversation easily.
Yeah, I mean,
easily.
You put what he does with this team, and the difference they are. Yes, I mean, because his numbers actually support it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like us lying.
It's not like we're blinded by the glasses. No, his numbers flat out support it. He's got 10 of his 24 games. He's got 10 to 12 double doubles.
He's ridiculous.
I mean, he's pretty much a given for a double-double. And if you give him 25 minutes, he's going to get you a double-double.
Yeah, you might get you in 20. I mean, he's that ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, there was points of his early on where, he'd play 22 minutes and drop 25. And you're like 25 and 10. You're like, what, dude? Like, average them numbers out. And you see, when he plays 38 minutes, he's dominant. Mm-hmm. He's that dominant where, if he was able to play even 75 games, he's MVP conversation. And he might even still be if he ramps up his playing from here on out. We don't know how much he's going to play.
Yeah.
But, I mean, time will tell. But definitely, dude, his numbers match it. His ability to make everybody better matches it. Yeah, Mike, it's a good one. He definitely does.
So we got 8 minutes left. I know Ryan has a question that he wants to throw out for us. So do we want to go to that?
Yeah, let's go to it.
All right, let's do it.
So my question to you guys is, now that 2017 is wrapping up, what is your favorite sports moment that you were involved in from the year?
Like at
In attendance?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't know if I went to a game in 2017.
Well,
no, I had to.
Well, this son of a bitch went to enough for you, so you can
Yeah.
pass one down to you.
He was having a tough time.
I know what mine is. If you
I
want me to go.
was having a tough time.
Go ahead.
I mean, I know what mine is. We talked about it before
Yeah,
the
yours
show.
and mine is the same.
Yeah, it's the same as Rise. It's the NFL draft. It's not even a question.
Right.
I wasn't at anything else good enough this
Yeah.
year. Like in 2008, Phils. Yeah. I was there. There was nothing I was at. I was at the Eagles-Bears game. That's nothing that I'm like is that great of a moment. I mean, they dominated. Cool, but it was the Bears. So it was the draft. It was the whole NFL draft experience, getting over there, being around the people, yelling Rube. Just yelling
We want
Rube
Rube
and
in.
getting Barnett and, yelling.
Philly Jesus.
Yeah, Philly Jesus and him blessing us.
Yeah.
And maybe his blessing
Maybe
wasn't
it
a
worked.
lie.
Season.
Maybe it wasn't
Maybe
a
it
lie.
worked.
Maybe it wasn't a lie. It was just a great experience. I think anybody that was there would agree.
But
Yeah.
think about that for a minute, though, because that's 2017 was a pretty lean year in Philly sports then. If the best thing that happened in the city, sports-wise, as a whole, was the NFL draft. I mean, it's a lean year.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting here and it became kind of funny because I do so much shit that I did have a hard time figuring it out. But for me, it didn't even take place here. It was the Winter Classic in Pittsburgh.
No question.
Back in February, because it was a really cool experience. And it was even wilder in the sense that we're driving out there in February in shorts and T-shirts in 75-degree weather. They almost had to cancel the pregame skate the day before because it was too warm. But by game time on Saturday night, it's 36 degrees and snowing. And it's like, what the hell happened?
I was just on a beach.
Yeah.
Chrome says being at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. And I said, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
I
don't think I went to anything impactful. I'm sure I hit a Phillies game this year. I don't remember because they were just blah. But it's to the point, though, this year was blah, and going to a game anymore is such a hassle. I'd rather sit at home on my couch with my 2 or 3 TVs and just enjoy it.
I'm a fraud. I don't go.
No, I won't go to a game.
I mean, the Embiid ESPN game against the Rockets last year was a great game to watch at home.
Yeah.
From over the year, plenty of Sixers games this year have been fun to watch. The Timberwolves game comes to mind. Nationally televised. The Christmas Day comes to mind. Nationally televised, a great game to watch. Just to have that back here in Philly. So I mean, all them, they're great to sit home and watch.
Yeah, I'd say the Jake Elliott walk-off was probably
Amazing.
second for me.
We were here.
Yeah, we
Sadly,
were
the
here.
only thing I go out for anymore, like to a venue, is a concert.
Yeah, I don't even do that. I'm a complete
Like
fraud.
I saw Garth this year. That was my highlight.
I don't go anywhere.
I saw Garth.
Too many bad things happen out. Too many bad things happen out. Like, I'm safe.
Bad things happen when you leave the house.
Yeah, like
It's just so easy at the house. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
nothing bad's going to happen.
I have my
Everything's
own
coming to you.
My own toilet.
Yeah, my house is barricaded like Fort fucking Knox. Like, nobody's getting in. You know what I mean?
I got a never-ending supply of Mellow Yellow.
Like, I got Monster water and some canned goods.
Ryan, what do you got?
I have one other quick question for you. I'm kind of hitting.
Well, what's your moment? The draft?
Oh, it's absolutely the draft.
All right.
The whole entire day, Tom, you obviously know this, getting here, scrambling to, see, we driving, we're taking the train.
Yeah,
Which train are we doing? What are we doing?
How do we get tickets? How does
exactly.
this work?
And then we go over to the Phillies game, and it's probably the worst Phillies game
Ever.
in the history of Phillies games.
A getaway day, and they were going to L.A. where he was
Where
at.
I
Yes.
was at, yeah.
So it was getaway day, and they
And
showed us that real clear.
And everyone at the game that we were talking to was at the Phillies game was basically like, when's the NFL draft start? Like,
Yeah.
everyone was there just to kill time for the draft. And then when we got to the draft, we want Ruben, all that stuff.
Even at the Phillies game, there was Rube talk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the
Oh,
Rube
a lot.
just started.
Chris McCaffrey talk, too.
There was McCaffrey. I mean, over some Dollar
Real
Dog.
early.
It might have been Dollar Dog Day, but it wasn't.
It better have been. After that
Dollar
game, it better
dogs,
have
y'all.
They should have just started giving them, like, here, this is
Yeah.
such a bad performance.
been. We're so sorry.
Yeah, we know they're getting away, and they're showing you that they're leaving.
Couple years, come back.
Trust it. It's sort of
trust
the
it.
thing around here.
My other quick question, I'm kind of hitting with, hitting you guys with it, out of nowhere. One bold prediction for 2018 in the sports world. Doesn't have to be Philly, just something.
I like it. Crum said Embiid burned down the Staples Center. It is a great moment. And that
Yes.
was great, too.
Yeah.
TTB Ballin says, being at the Warriors game when we were up 20 in the first half was the greatest thing ever. Sadly, it ended in a huge L.
Yeah, I mean, at halftime, I had him in my show criteria for Sunday morning. He said the Eagles beat Sixers beat the defending champs Warriors.
Bold prediction for 2018. Phillies get a wild card.
Oh, all right.
You stole mine one.
You son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. I like it because I was thinking the same thing. Phillies make the postseason. But I'll go off board. Tiger Woods wins a major.
Wow.
Ooh, I like it.
He took mine.
Wow.
So I took his. He took yours.
Greg, which one?
You can take Tom's.
Which one?
Oh, I mean, if you're gonna put it on me, I'm gonna go Augusta just because.
Damn it!
That's been his baby. But I wouldn't. I mean, that's just a pure.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
All right, Ryan, what do you got?
I don't know if this is oh, you go ahead. You
No, I got the Masters. The Tiger winning the Masters.
Yeah,
That's
Tiger
right.
win the
Yeah.
Masters. This is the first thing that came to my head, and I don't know, if it's a stretch, but I think we hoist the Lombardi, boys. I really do. It all goes back to that Wednesday show when I said it doesn't come easy. Why would it? We're Philly. This one, and it's before Wentz got hurt.
So are you talking near 2018, as in this year, or next year?
This.
As in like in 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
We're putting up a trophy.
Yes.
You heard it here
Yes.
first.
It's just weird. It's gonna happen in like this kind of freaking way. It just would. This team's just tough. They're tough.
If they win, I will get the tattoo.
Shit, I might too. Right on my ass.
Left cheek or right.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't want to match.
No,
I don't want to match.
You tell me what side you go. I'll go the other.
Just go together.
Right after,
Oh, Jesus.
right after the game.
Yeah. What side are you getting that done on?
Get us out of here.
Oh, man.
Lord.
Thank you all for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Chiming in. Your comments. You drive it.
You guys are the reason we do what we do.
Happy New Year, everybody. We won't see you.
Enjoy. Be safe.
Yes.
We won't be here next week. We're taking the bye off as well. We'll be back previewing whoever the Birds are playing, baby. And listen, you win one, it's all house money with Foles. It's all house money.
You're damn
It's
right.
house money. So you win one, and just win one at a time, baby. One at a time. For another edition of Tom
Mike
AM.
in the PA.
HUDRadio.com. I'd like to thank our Wednesday night show sponsor, Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. For Tom Arno, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Ryan Brodo on the ones and twos. We'll see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Peace.